Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Do want to go ahead and get to a little bit of an interesting story that emerged on Monday night. And I got to be honest, it isn't very often that something happens, especially in kind of the areas of expertise that I like to think I maybe know a little bit about what I'm talking about, but it isn't very often. So college football, college basketball, etc. But it isn't very often that a story emerges where I am genuinely shocked by the reaction to something. But that's exactly what happened on Monday night. And it involves, if you're watching on YouTube, the guy on that lower bottom part of your screen, Cooper Flagg. So Cooper Flagg, I think everybody kind of knows who he is, but this is a kid we actually talked a lot about on this YouTube channel and the podcast. Probably about a year ago, we really started talking about him because it was right around a year ago. Everybody knew how good he was. Everybody knew how talented he was. And it was about a year ago at Peach Jam where you started to hear the rumors that he was officially going to reclassify, that he would be a senior this past year, and that he would be enrolling in college in the fall of 2024. Well, that's exactly what happened, and we covered it kind of on this show. We talked about the reclassification. We talked about his visit to UConn. We talked about his visit to Duke. We talked about his commitment to Duke. But this kid is largely believed to be not just a really good high school player, but the best player in the 2024 class, the definitive number one pick in the 2025 class. And where it gets interesting is he is believed by many to be a generational talent, the kind of kid that this isn't just another dude that's ranked number one in the class, not even a kid that is a number one overall pick type talent, but one of the best high school players we've seen in decades, the kind of guy that can change a franchise. And as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, a guy that teams actually position themselves to get the number one pick. In other words, we got 5, 6, 7 teams in the NBA tanking this year for the right to draft. So that is who Cooper Flagg is, and I think you probably know why I'm talking about him today. But as I said, Monday night, it's always right after we finish the Aaron Torres pod, but we finished the show Monday night live on YouTube, and these videos start to emerge of Cooper Flagg playing for the Team USA Select team. And so Team USA Select, so we obviously have the Olympics coming up. Paris is in just a few weeks. LeBron James is on the Olympic team. Steph Curry's on the Olympic team. Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, on and on. And so what Team USA does, they always put together what they call the Select team, which is kind of these up-and-coming rising stars that they kind of want exposed to Team USA basketball. And so generally, it's a group of guys that just finished their rookie year, second year, young players that in theory could be part of the Olympic cycle 4 years from now, the next Olympic cycle. And this year, they included Cooper Flagg as part of this. He became the first active college player to be part of this program since about 2013, I believe, is the last time that happened, which is kind of crazy because it was Doug McDermott who was going into his, I believe, senior year of college. But I just bring it up because Cooper Flagg about 3 or 4 weeks ago was named a part of this Team USA Select team. But when it happened, it was kind of this feel good. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. He's part of it. He gets to go and hang out and rub elbows with the stars. But nobody really expected for him to actually be talked about as part of this Team USA Select team, which scrimmages with Team USA. So that, of course, brings us to Monday night because as I got off air, all these videos start emerging of Cooper Flagg not only playing against Team USA, but oh, by the way, I don't want to say dominating, but here's the bottom line. People that were in the building actually used the word dominating. So he's playing for Team USA Select against the Team USA team with LeBron, Steph, again, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, whatever. And the media was able to see the last 10 minutes or so. Here is what one media member said. This is Adam Himmelsbach. I apologize if I butchered his name, of the Boston Globe. He tweeted, Maine's Cooper Flagg is, quote, dominating this USA scrimmage. Turnaround jumper over Drew Holiday, 3 in Anthony Davis's face, and soaring and 1 putback as he's knocked to the ground. And so again, to bring it back to what I just said, it's not often that I am genuinely surprised by a story in the world of college basketball and how big it gets. But I don't think there's any doubt that this story is huge. Was working out on whatever it was Tuesday morning. Skip Bayless and Rachel Nichols and Keyshawn Johnson are talking about it. Colin Cowherd's fill-in a few hours later, we're talking Cooper Flagg to lead the show. So this story is huge. Let's break it down. And I got to be honest. Does this change how I feel about Cooper Flagg and Duke a little bit going into next year because we are a college sports show? I got to be real. Duke might be even better than I thought they were going to be going into next year, and I have them as a top 10 team. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, Cooper Flagg's a really good player, okay? 6'8", 6'9". First of all, love that he's from Maine. I grew up in Connecticut. Us New England guys got to stick together. And the story being from Maine, it's unbelievable. He goes to Montverde. But the thing that I really love about watching him is he's not just like a 6'9" dude that can shoot threes or a 6'8" dude that can shoot threes. He can pretty much do it all on the court. He's a kid that can handle the ball, can get a rebound, rip and run, can lead the fast break, sets up others. He's a guy that can catch the ball in the high post, find a cutter for an easy layup. Like everything that you want out of a player, he can do. This isn't just a 6'8", 6'9" dude that can shoot threes. And I actually thought Jaime Jaquez, one of the other players from the Team USA Select team, probably described the whole situation about as well as he could, as possible. This is how Jaime Jaquez described Cooper Flagg's game. To be able to do what he did, not even playing in a college game yet, let alone an NBA game, there's no fear. It's relentless. And the thing you can tell about him is that he just has a knack and a will to win. This is the part that I love. He said he doesn't need the ball. He just finds a way to it, and the ball finds him. That's something you can't teach. He's just got a great feel for the game. Listen, that's exactly how I would describe Cooper Flagg. By the way, everybody else that was part of that event had great things to say. Devin Booker raved about him. Jalen Duren, who was part of Team USA Select, raved about him. But that's the thing about Cooper Flagg. 6'8", 6'9". Yeah, he could step in and shoot threes. But as you saw in those highlights, he's a guy that can attack the boards and have putbacks. He's athletic. He can jump. He can make plays for others. As I said, he can rip and go. So he's not the kind of guy that just needs the ball in his hands to make himself productive or to make others around him better. And so when I look at him, when I look at what he did, I got to be honest, I do think, in my opinion, it probably raises a little bit the ceiling that I was kind of thinking for Duke this year. And I got to be honest, listen, I've seen him in person. He's incredible. But as a guy who covers college hoops, I have become a little bit probably jaded by the high-profile freshman, All-American, the best sense guy. Because since I've been doing this, it feels like every 2 years there's the best sense this, the best sense that. And it's no disrespect, but rarely do these things work out. And so, and by the way, when I say that, I don't even mean like somebody's a bust, but like Andrew Wiggins was like the best since LeBron, right? At the time. And Andrew Wiggins was a really good college player, but he wasn't like unbelievable. He wasn't a game changer. Kansas didn't get out of the first round of the tournament. And so I just bring it up because the number of dudes that really step in from day one, are the best player in the sport, dominate, take over games, it's few and far between. Zion Williamson, certainly a few years ago. Anthony Davis in 2012. John Wall in 2010. Probably dating back to Kevin Durant in 2007, Derrick Rose in 2008. But these guys don't come along every single year. And just because you're the number one player in a class, just because you're the number one player in America, even just because you're the number one pick in the draft, doesn't mean you're going to be that guy. But if Cooper Flagg is stepping on a court with the best players in the NBA, and he's at minimum looks like he belongs and looks comfortable, I'm sorry. That means that he can absolutely be the best player in college basketball next year, and he can absolutely maybe even elevate Duke further than I thought. Because what I would say is, listen, we haven't done our offseason grades piece yet for Duke, but I actually really do like what John Shire did this offseason, because he's still recruiting the one and dones. He's still recruiting the 5-stars, but he did the nice balance of the number one recruiting class in the country with 4 or 5 guys out of the portal with a couple of returnees. Now Duke's got a very interesting team. It's all going to obviously revolve around Cooper Flagg, but first off, you have the 2 returnees, Tyrese Proctor and Caleb Foster. I know Tyrese Proctor hasn't totally clicked yet. I know that, he was a projected one and done, doesn't happen. A projected two and done doesn't happen. First round pick hasn't happened yet, but he's turned into a very good college player. Not great, but good. 10 points, 4 boards, 4 assists last year as a sophomore. And remember, he reclassified, so he really could have been a freshman a year ago. Caleb Foster's returning, had a good freshman year. And then I really do like the transfers that they brought in to kind of bring that veteran presence to that Duke locker room. Mason Gillis. Yes, I was number 1 Purdue critic during the season, but I love what Mason Gillis did for that team and what he will do for Duke this year. Veteran dude, 3-point shooter, banger down low, locker room presence. Talk to him at the Final Four. Just seems like a well-balanced kid that kind of gets the big picture of college basketball. Zion James, 14-point-a-game scorer from Tulane. Big, athletic wing. I think behind Cooper Flagg, he might be the second leading scorer on that Duke team. And then you have a couple other transfers, and you have the other freshmen that are going to be playing around Cooper Flagg. Isaiah Evans, Con Knipple, really good 3-point shooter. You have Patrick Ngamba. You have the kid from the Africa program, the basketball. Why am I blanking on the African Basketball Academy kid? I don't want to trip over his name. The point I'm trying to make, this is going to be a really good team, but I do think that Cooper Flagg is that dude that can elevate the entire team once they step on the floor, and maybe to even a level that we weren't expecting. And so what I would wrap by saying, this is big. And it's big because now the casuals have a reason to tune into college hoops. And to be clear, I'm not the guy that hates when casuals tune in, unless it's a JJ Redick parachuting in and talking about how much the sport sucks. Yes, that happened about 4 or 5 years ago, as has been well documented. But I love when there's something on a national scale that people are interested in college basketball to talk about. And listen, love my UConn Huskies, graduated from UConn. It's been awesome watching that back-to-back national championship run. But they've been really good the last 2 years, but 2023 was a little bit of a surprise run. And then 24, they were so dominant that I don't know that people could kind of wrap their arms around a story. And so now, thanks to the Team USA Select stuff, you have a year of buildup with Cooper Flagg. You have a year of buildup that people are going to want to see this kid, get to know this kid. Is he as good? Is he is he really worth the Brooklyn Nets, the Utah Jazz, whoever, my team tanking for this kid? NBA people will be watching. College basketball people will be watching. I was watching Skip Bayless's show while I was working out on Tuesday morning. He said, I'm going to watch every Duke game. And it's like, I don't think he's probably going to watch every Duke game. Don't know if he's going to be watching like the Coastal Carolina game on a Tuesday, on a Monday night when there's Monday Night Football. But he's going to tune into the big ones. Rachel Nichols was on set. She said the same. This is a good thing for college basketball. So I'm really excited. And I can honestly just say I am genuinely surprised at how big this got and how much interest there is in Cooper Flagg after that Team USA